All right. What's going on, guys? Emergency pod. Had to come on really quick and talk about the big news. Obviously, biggest news of the day, Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, coach's mortal enemy Pam Bondi has been let go by President
My
Trump.
mortal enemy?
Mortal enemy, coach told her to take the cross off. And yeah, she's been fired. So I want to get your initial thoughts because 2 weeks ago you were right in her kitchen, getting right in her ear, letting her know that, listen, you're a fraud, take your cross off. You were giving it to her. And 2 weeks later, she's gone. So I want to first get your initial thoughts, coach. What's going through your mind?
Okay, so the first thing is my mother called me to say, guess what? They just preempted The Young and the Restless to say Pam Bondi got fired.
Preempted The Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said, wow, Pam Bondi got fired? And she said, yeah. And I think it's because of you, because you went to D.C. and you yelled at Pam Bondi and Donald Trump got scared of you.
I agree. I think it is because of you. That was my first initial thought as well. When I saw the headline come across my phone that Pam Bondi was fired, I was like, boom, that's because of the coach. I knew it. I knew it right off the rip. I was like, the coach definitely is the reason for the firing, without a doubt. I think it's not even there is a huge Epstein hearing coming up, and I think after people obviously noticed us in front of the DOJ building. They were sticking their phones out. They were recording. I think there were some that were uncomfortable. I mean, we made sure to call them out as soon as they were sticking their phones through the windows. And I think that Trump was like, am I going to really roll this lady out there again to take a beating on the Senate floor? Or are we going to, roll somebody else out there? I really think that was the case.
Well, she had a meeting later, and she wouldn't take the oath. She wouldn't, when you have to get sworn in.
Yeah.
So later that same day, and she actually looked pretty nervous with Todd Blanche.
Yep.
And maybe the fact that I called her out, listen, they're high powers.
Yeah.
So maybe she was like, you know what, I can't swear on the Bible.
I think you're 100% right. Honestly, I think you're 100% right. And I think that, I think that you made it so that, it was... You made it known that everybody was unhappy, that people were unhappy with the way things were going. Nobody, we're not just going to roll over. We're going to get right in your kitchen. We're going to get right, let you know
Listen,
to your
we
face.
showed up at her job.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
We're being at no offense to anyone, a No Kings rally on a Saturday.
Yeah.
We went
right.
So that way when people were coming in and out of the office for lunch, you couldn't miss us.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, DC is a ghost town. I was surprised at how empty those streets are.
I agree with you.
100%. I expected a lot more hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
And there were very few businesses. A lot of the storefronts are for lease, they're not even for sale.
Right.
The buildings were pretty empty. We're there at lunch, and what do we have? Maybe one big group of 6.
Yeah, I think it was 5 maybe that came out.
And they all look like a bunch of wasps, didn't they?
Totally.
So it's just interesting that, I really got a message. I really felt it from the Holy Spirit that I needed to convey to Pam Bondi that she needed to stop using her cross as a prop.
Yeah. And
start doing the right thing by protecting the people who have no voice for themselves, especially children. And she's going to go down as a disgrace in history. She's going into the private sector.
It's been quite the mix of reviews, I would say, online.
Well, listen,
quite the mix of reviews.
Anybody who's going to kiss her ass is going to kiss her ass.
Yeah.
Right? But for real people, I don't think they're going to be impressed with anything she did. She didn't arrest one person.
Yeah, there wasn't
there were no arrests. There were arrests all over France. Even Prince Andrew got arrested in the UK. Mendelssohn got arrested in the UK. She didn't even make one arrest. And, her subordinate, because the FBI reports to the DOJ, Kash Patel lied clearly, right under oath, no repercussions.
Right.
So, it's really...
It is. It is really, it's interesting. And I think, it's going to be interesting to see who the permanent replacement is. I know your favorite person in the world, Todd Blanche, is stepping in the interim. But it'll be interesting to see who comes in to replace Pam Bondi. I'm curious to see, is this going to solve the problem, or is it going to be another yes man taking the job for Pam Bondi? Is it going to be another yes man who will just completely ignore the Epstein situation, ignore any situation that Trump tells them to ignore? Like, that's what I think I'm curious to find out is the situation going to change with a different person in the Attorney General's role? I'm starting to believe that it won't. I don't think it matters who is in there. If Trump says we're going to ignore an issue, I think they're going to continue to ignore the issue. And that's my concern. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I know other people that feel that way, that the real issue is that, Trump is deciding what we're going to ignore and what we're not going to ignore. And I'm curious to find out, will the new Attorney General, whoever that may be, I know they're still in debate on who that's going to be, but whoever comes in and fills this role, are they going to do the right thing? Or are they going to just be another yes man? And that's going to be the question.
Okay, I have to, let's take a step back.
Okay,
because we need to get to the beginning of Pam Bondi, because Pam Bondi used to go on the news all the time talking about releasing the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And that wasn't Trump. That was Pam Bondi on the news saying how she was going to release the Epstein files all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, she invited all the, she goes, we're going to invite new people, all the social media influencers, and gave them binders full of garbage.
Yeah.
Like, she literally lied to the public's face. She lied to those influencers' face and said that she was giving them information about the Epstein files. And it was all a lie.
Yeah.
What's so funny?
Nothing. I just read a text message from a viewer.
Oh. So she lied about that.
Yeah.
Then, she made it as difficult as possible. Once Massey put out that law, let's be honest, she could have followed the law and be like, sorry, Trump, there's not really nothing I can do. Tom Massey, had this passed. Congress passed it. We have to release it.
Right.
She could have done that easily and fallen on her sword.
Yeah.
And just been like, you know what, if you're going to fire me, but this is the right thing. No, then she data dumps all the Epstein files and makes it completely impossible for people to go through them and figure them out.
Yeah.
But however, live by the sword, die by the sword. Do you know how many people were using AI programs and all kinds of other things to dig into those files and find a lot of things that I know they did not want us to find? So Pam Bondi has to take responsibility for that. And then when questioned, her response was, the Dow's at $50,000, not even points. She said dollars. Okay? She said $50,000. She's a clown. And
bad luck.
Pam Bondi sucks. And honestly, when I saw her testifying that day, she's 61 years old. I said she's done the satanic stuff too. Look at her skin. I swear, I'm sure she's used the blood of children and the endocrine herself. I'm not even kidding you. I could be totally wrong, but that's how I feel.
Yeah. Now, do you think that whoever comes in the interim, though, do you think that they'll act and try to get something done with the Epstein files, or do you think it'll just be
Todd Blanche isn't going to do anything?
No, Todd Blanche is a punk,
Blanche
but
is not going to do anything.
I don't think he's going to be the permanent AG. I think it'll be somebody else. So now I'm curious on whoever comes in to be the newly appointed AG. Is it going to be somebody with some balls and will do something, or will it be just another yes man?
We can only hope that they lie the way everybody lies in D.C. and they say, Trump, I'm going to cover up the whole Epstein file thing. Don't worry about it. And then they're a liar. And they release it all. We can only hope. Right?
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Dropping the TikTok live right in the middle of the live. Coach is on TikTok live broadcasting as well.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to do this.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
I don't know.
Now you're locked in the comments. You're locked in the comments. You closed it.
All right, how do I do this?
I think you're locked in the
I may have to get off the TikTok live because this is just too much technology.
There you go. I swiped it for you.
Thank you.
You're good. You're all set. But
it's
anyway,
a lot of technology for me,
And so Pam Bondi, obviously the biggest story, big firing of Pam Bondi, but it also came across my screen that Pete Hegseth fired the chief of staff for the United States Army. So in a couple of different firings, and I saw a few tweets out there that there are rumors that Kash Patel, number one partier, could be out the door as well coming up.
I would be so happy if Kash Patel got fired.
So Kash Patel on the hot seat.
Kash Patel is a DEI hire and a liar.
Oh, good. That was good. I'm glad he got it in that TikTok.
He's a DEI hire and a liar. That's what Kash Patel is.
Yep.
So I hope he gets fired.
I can't take it serious with that. With the phone.
With the phone. With
Yeah,
the
with the
and then how about
the
Dad?
phone.
I see Dad over my shoulder.
Yeah, we have a special guest, Scott Villas, sleeping in the background of the show, right between us here. I'm glad to have him. And Mr. Max is in the show. Nibs removed himself from the shot.
He's a lot of fun.
He couldn't be associated with his Al Qaeda brothers.
Oh, he was like, no, I can't be on Make the Right Play.
No, he can't. He's Al Qaeda. So, but
and he was very mad at Trump yesterday, by the way.
Oh, after that speech, Coach, let's get your thoughts on that great speech last night.
First of all, I have to tell you, I was so annoyed because I'm driving home and Trump literally, oh my gosh, I've already had a violation.
Oh, a violation warning. You know, our last TikTok got struck down for community violation. We're on the hot seat on TikTok. TikTok doesn't like us very much. But Trump's speech last night, a total nothing burger. Didn't say anything new. It was completely just word dumps, I would say. It was a complete just word dump. No new information. Said that we were going to bomb Iran back into the Stone Ages, essentially. And he gave a lot of facts that
what is that?
I thought were pretty interesting. You were talking about the USS Cole. How he said that Iran was involved in the USS Cole, and that turned out to be a lie. Because
he said, and Iran bombed the USS Cole. I said, wait a minute, I thought that was Al Qaeda. And believe me, they drilled it into our heads in the early 2000s that there's a difference between the Sunnis and the Shias, that they're two types of Muslims. Mm-hmm. And Al Qaeda are the Sunni Muslims, and Iran are the Shia Muslims.
Yes.
So correct. I said, wait a minute. I thought it was Al Qaeda that bombed the USS Cole. So if Al Qaeda bombed the USS Cole, how could Iran possibly be responsible for a Sunni attack?
Right.
And Al Qaeda is what they called it. He lied. He totally lied. Yeah. Because I think he's trying to mess with the American people's head. So American people say, oh, wait a minute. You know what? Iran bombed the USS Cole. They've been getting away with murder for years. Yeah. Not true. Not true.
Lies.
Like, you know, and that bothers me. Like, just be honest and upfront. You don't have to lie. Like, just be honest. Tell the truth. Let's try to have a functional relationship with the government for once. Like, you know.
A functional relationship with the government.
But I have to say, you know what's come to light is that we're never going to vote our way out of this.
No, I don't think we are. I agree with you. I don't think it's an issue that you can vote your way out of it because I think both sides are so corrupt. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting how you get out of this situation because really, how do you, get yourself out of the swamp like this? You really can't.
I don't know how we're ever going to have a functional relationship because we thought the answer was Trump and that as being an outsider, he would be above the swamp. Well, it turns out that there are a bunch of satanic pedophiles running Washington, D.C. It's one big uniparty. And I really wouldn't be surprised if they put a hex or some kind of demon went into Donald Trump. I really wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really believe that. So it's one big uniparty. D.C. is completely corrupt. And I don't know how we're going to get out of it.
So do you think the only way to get out of the situation is the removal of President Trump?
No, because then they'll just be next in line, next demon in line. Like maybe the demon that leaves one goes into the other. But what I do think, and this might be interesting, is that maybe between Epstein and the war and all the chaos and confusion going on, maybe Democrats and Republicans will stop being Democrats and Republicans and will join together and form a third party that will actually win. How great would that be?
I don't think it'll ever happen, Coach, but I do like your thought. I do like your thought.
I think with alternative media,
right?
And I believe, honestly, that with podcasts, like if let's say with alternative media, with podcasts, and people really start to pay attention, they go, you know what? The Democrats are a bunch of demonic liars. The Republicans are a bunch of demonic liars. They're all liars. They screw the American people. I'm so sick of it. Yep. Guess what? The American people finally joined together. We, the people, join together and we get this third party over the finish line. I think that would be great. I think we need to get rid of the Republican and the Democrat. I feel like you can't have your party be a religion.
Well, you can have your party be religion, right. But that's just because I feel that so many people have moved away from religion that politics has become that set of it kind of replaced it. The politics replaced what religion used to be. The politics has kind of overcome that, like and been a replacement. So I do think, but I don't know if you can convince everybody to move off of the party line. It's a tough sell to get everybody
I think we're at that
move
point
off of it.
because the Democrat Party has moved so far left, right?
They have.
That a lot of Democrats don't feel comfortable with moving towards communism. So you have a lot of those Democrats who don't want to move towards communism. Then,
What's wrong?
they kicked me off the line.
They kicked you off alive?
I have violations.
Oh, Coach. Got kicked off. Banished off of TikTok Live. That's what happens to us every time we go live, too. People just, they just can't handle it. That is what it is. So I've had a lot of that happen lately. But I think that, I think it's a tough sell to tell people to move off, because I do think that there are some people that want to go that way, which is fine. I mean, that's, I think that's okay. I just think that, it's a tough sell to tell people that, we're going to move off of the two-party system.
Well, listen. So if you have enough people, so you have the communists on the Democrat Party who aren't interested. Then you get the MAGA, Trump can do no wrong people. That's turning off a lot of Republicans, because you're not voting to make America great again when you have a pedophile protector in the Oval Office.
Agreed.
When you have somebody that you're like, we want to put America first, we don't want any more foreign wars, and then we get into a foreign war. Like, I'm
tough
sorry.
Look. Two tough looks.
Sorry, so you have a lot of Republicans now who are disgusted. So if we could join the Democrats who don't want to move towards communism, and the Republicans who are not part of a cult and do not worship Donald Trump, I think we might get enough people that could actually win in a third party.
They used to call that independent, Coach.
Well, we have to name it a party and call it We the People or something like that.
Called We the People?
Yeah.
No, that's a pretty good name.
Where'd you come up with that one? I came from the Constitution. I was like, we the people. Like, I didn't invent anything. That's why I even said we the people demand justice.
Yeah.
Because it's not about me. It's not about you.
Right.
It's not about Republican or Democrat. It's about what is best for we, the people of the United States of America.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need to get back to basics. Not what's best for the billionaires and the oligarchs. We need to get back to basics. What is best for we, the people.
Yeah.
And I really think we have enough Republicans and enough Democrats, if we just got them to break the chains of the two-party system, to join together, and we might be successful.
I hope so, Coach. I really do. I hope that's the way to do it. And I think there is a possibility of that happening. But I do think that there are a lot of those issues that are, in the middle that people, they feel that they can agree on, though.
There are a ton of issues in the middle that we could all agree on. Pedophilia, if you get caught being a pedophile. Pedophilia is bad,
yeah. I would
think
agree.
We could all agree on that in the middle.
Yes.
I think when we say we don't want to go to foreign wars, if Israel
agree
says,
on foreign wars.
for the last 20 years, Iran's 2 weeks from, developing a nuclear weapon, that you say, listen, you said that 20 years ago, check yourself.
Right.
I think there are enough people who are not going to be interested in being involved in foreign engagements in the Middle East that are unnecessary.
I agree. Two good ones.
Right? So those are two big things. I think that a lot of we the people could also agree on the health in this country and making the pharmaceutical companies be responsible for the poison that has gone into our food and the medicines that they give us to treat us for poisoning us initially. I think that's another. I think that there are enough issues that, we say, another issue, you got to stop stealing. Like, I think we, the people, could all agree that these politicians have been stealing us and robbing us blind for decades.
Oh,
and we can't give them enough tax dollars because they're so greedy.
Right.
It's like the Kushners. They're so rich, but they can never be rich enough.
Yeah.
Like,
there is a lot of greed.
Blinded by greed. And I feel like a lot of the politicians, because they are satanic cult members, are probably blinded with the same kind of greed, and there's just not enough that they could steal from us.
Correct.
So I think that the two people could agree and be like, hey, we need to restructure this whole tax system and how our government money is being spent. I think there are a lot of issues that we could actually agree on.
Well, Coach, I hope you're right. Because
we just need to have the fortitude.
I get worried that there are just issues that that people just can't seem to overcome or agree on. So it just, we'll have to see what happens
we need to do
when we get to that bridge.
They have to stop dividing us on a lot of issues, and we need to agree on big issues. Like, we're not always
Right,
gonna
but I
agree
would
on
say
little issues.
immigration is a huge issue. And I know a lot of people that feel that it should be an open border system where you can come and go as you please. And, I don't feel comfortable riding that train.
No, that's globalist, and that's not something that we would agree with, having
Right.
open
So,
borders.
but I would
Because
say
open borders
80
are
to
dangerous.
90% of the Democrat Party
Well,
want open
let me
borders.
ask Democrats, if
So I
any of
just,
you watching.
I think, it's tough to sell.
Let's ask them. Do you agree with open borders now that we're in a war with Iran? Are you comfortable with open borders right now, that anybody could just
I
come
think they
walking
would
into
say
the
yes.
country? I don't think so.
I think they would say yes.
I think they'd be lying. I think they might be lying.
I'm not saying that they're
because
lying.
I know that that's a really bad idea. Just because I lock my doors. Just saying, I lock my doors. I don't let just anybody walk into my house. But right now, being at war with Iran and the fact that they might want to use terrorism, since they don't have another way to attack us, you might not want people just coming right into the country and being like, okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I know I could see, the way that they think on the other side of, you got to, care for people less fortunate and help people out and give people stuff that they may need and be asylum for people that need asylum. Like, they always have those arguments. So
is that what they do? Do they give up their whole paycheck to help other people? I mean, we can't afford it.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate.
No, but it's completely unsustainable. You have to have common sense, and we the people.
Yeah.
We can't just go on feelings.
Yeah.
And that's another manipulation. You may feel one way, but you can't just always go out on feelings. And even in the Bible, I really think that we the people has to be very Bible kind of structured, where you have that common sense.
Not everybody rides with the Bible, though, Coach.
Well, I think that we the people has to,
Not
because
everybody rides like that.
How are we going to win unless we?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel that maybe the third party it just won't be sustainable, because there's so many people that have turned their back from religion or don't value religion and think it doesn't have that much of importance. And then we have that struggle where it'll never in reality work, because people just don't feel the same as other people, which is fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying that it's tough to say, well, we got to go down this third party road, because I think that there's a lot of missing pieces.
Listen, we're not going to change anything if we vote for Democrat or Republican. It's a
I
big
agree with that.
uniparty.
I think the heads of both parties are a problem.
So if you are going
Agreed.
to hang your hat on one issue, and that's the most important thing, and it's people who don't live in this country are more important than the people who live in your country, and people who don't live in the country are more important than protecting children from
that's
pedophilia.
why they won't pass the SAVE Act.
If not being involved in foreign wars and killing people and sending young people from this country to other countries to get killed, because it's more important to let people come across the border illegally or have open borders and not even know who comes into the country. People, I think there are enough common sense Americans. There are 330 million of us. And I know a lot of people don't vote because they're so disgusted. At some point in their life, they got disgusted. Mm-hmm. So I would hope that there are enough people in the United States who would say, you know what, I'm gonna try this time, because I know for sure we can't have someone who went through a satanic initiation process to get involved in the government. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel.
Well, I think you're right. But getting back to the point at hand, who do you think the next Attorney General will be to replace Pam Bondi?
I have no idea.
Could you see everybody's favorite Publix worker, Matt Gaetz, getting the top?
No.
Again? No chance?
Mm-mm.
No chance.
No. Matt Gaetz, it's over for Matt Gaetz.
It's over for Matt Gaetz. Publix forever.
He's on 01.
Yeah. He's done. He's bagging groceries.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to see. I am curious to see if the Kash Patel report is true, because if Kash Patel goes too, and now your heads of the Justice Department are just gone like that, that'll be quite interesting to see how they go from there.
You know what? I have to say, I do feel like praying from Congress all the way to the DOJ.
Yeah.
Right. And that day when Pam Bondi had the meeting where she would not swear, right? Mm-hmm. She wouldn't be sworn in. She wouldn't take an oath.
Right, take the oath. Yep.
I feel like, that may have touched her even if it was just a little bit, where she's like, I don't want to go to hell because I'm going to swear on the Bible that there are no pedophiles, and we know that they're pedophiles. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree with you 100%. All right. Well, yeah, so big news coming out today, and we wanted to touch on it and give you guys our opinions. So, let us know what you guys think. Be sure to comment on the video. Let us know what you guys think is going on. Let us know who you guys think the next Attorney General will be. And then we'll have to see.
Say one thing.
Oh, all right. Go ahead, Coach.
Never feel like your voice doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Never feel that your voice doesn't matter. If you feel like you need to say something and you need to stand up for something, don't be afraid. Stand up for what's right.
Yep.
And I will, till my dying day, always be happy that I went to the Department of Justice and said, what you're doing is disgusting. You need to prosecute pedophiles.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if they're billionaires. So don't think your voice doesn't matter, because look, 2 weeks later, Pam Bondi got fired. Who knows why? I could have nothing to do with it, or I could have had something to do with it. We'll never know. But the point is that you got to get your voice out there, because the universe is a place where it picks things up.
Yeah.
And that's why they try to silence us so much, because it makes them nervous, because thoughts that were never in somebody's head to begin with, all of a sudden gets in there. And it's like a seed, a mustard seed.
Yeah.
And during this weekend, Easter, Lent, tonight's Holy Thursday, tomorrow's Good Friday, really, even if you're not a religious person, sit down and say an Our Father and just see how it makes you feel. That's what I pray for you.
Good advice, Coach.
Yeah.
Good advice. I like it. All right, guys. Yeah. So like I said, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know what you guys are thinking about what's happening right now. Be sure to retweet it, repost it, post it everywhere. We want to hear from you guys. Let us know what you guys think, and we'll be back next Wednesday, hopefully with some more exciting news. We'll see you then. Have a wonderful Easter, everybody. Happy Easter, and we'll see you guys next time.